If your ex is dating someone after you guys broke up, watch this video, because in this video I'm gonna explain the 10 common triggers that drive people to get back into a relationship very quickly. And those drivers are very important for you to understand, because they will determine your strategy. They will determine whether your ex is actually rebounding, whether they have a chance with this new relationship, whether you have a chance to get back together. Watch those 10 signs and let me know in the comment section how you feel about this jingle.
IGetMyExBack.com. Everyone deserves a second chance.
So first of all, how to use this video. As you know, I'm making those videos to share with you some practical tips to also boost your mood and see that there are positive signs outside of those very complex situations. I want you to reflect on your role. Reflect on your role in the relationship. You have to understand that right now your ex is dating someone, so it's not a time for you to try to rekindle things. That wouldn't work. You have to let this relationship, fail in a way, because it will if it's a rebound relationship. Understand that those triggers are not based on how you should base the relationship. In other words, your partner is dating that person. They think that person is great for them, but the reason they're dating this person is because they've been triggered, because the breakup triggered them to jump into a new relationship without reflecting on the breakup itself. And right now what you have to do, what you should do, is obviously focusing on you, focusing on your personal journey, on your personal growth. And this is something your ex is not doing. I will explain this at the end in the recap, but it's very important. But let's discuss why it's so important. It's so important to understand because you need to understand your partner is making this decision it's highly based on emotion. We can argue emotions is unconscious drivers. See, they're not aware of it. They might rationalize this decision. They might explain they're completely different than you. And this is what I'm after. Because you are so this and that, I'm picking someone who's the opposite. Or they're going to choose someone who's exactly like you. Because they don't want to sort of live life without the same habituation, without the same life, having to adapt to something new. So the thing is, you have to understand how you position yourself versus this rebound relationship. And again, most of the rebound relationship fail. Let's look at the first one. The first trigger is the avoidance of pain. This is very common for people who are dumpies. I hate this word, but also common for dumpers, because they will have a hard time dealing with the breakup. If you were part of their life, if they had feelings for you, and usually they still have feelings for you, it's going to be very hard to let go of this relationship. And so being with someone is in a way distraction, is in a way for them to divert their attention and divert them from the pain. Also, what is very important is when they do this, they can't focus on the failure of the relationship. And the difference with you is that you are focusing. The idea of focusing on the failure is not really to self-blame, it's not really to feel that you should have or could have, it's really assessing your role, really understanding how you could do things differently, how you can move forward, grow from this. For example, if you have an insecure attachment style, how you can be more secure, how can you communicate more effectively with your partner. Maybe that will be with your ex, maybe with your next partner. But it's very important to use this breakup and learn from it. Right now, your partner is not learning anything. And that's a big thing that goes, big thing that is in your advantage, at your advantage. Second trigger, seeking validation. Very often, we date someone after a breakup. We feel the need to date someone because we are, our self-esteem has been impacted. And so we need reassurance. We need someone to validate that we are valuable. We need to feel desired, and that's what your ex is doing right now. They are filling the gap that they left with someone. And so they are trying actively, again, it's very much unconscious, to rebuild self-esteem. So one way is not really starting dating quickly, but when you get onto dating apps and you get notification on Tinder that you match someone, this is what they're after in a way, but they do it through a relationship. But very often, a lot of my clients, they feel better when they get on dating apps. It's very quick, starts very high, and then it drops on, because then the interaction and the messaging game, they hate it. But usually at the beginning, you feel so hyped, so happy to see those notifications, the fact that I can seduce someone, I can be attractive. That's what they're after when they seek validation. Third one is the fear of loneliness. Again, they took the decision to end the relationship, but still, it's going to be very hard to face being alone. For example, maybe they moved out from where you live to adjust to this new life. And so the emptiness, the silence, the same way it's hard for you, it's going to be hard for them. And so they're going to miss having a partner, a companion. This is also applicable to avoidance. You might be thinking, but avoidance, they hate companionship, they hate spending time together. No. Avoidance, they have a fear of intimacy. They are scared of commitment, but they do enjoy spending time with their partner. And I'm pretty sure if you had a relationship with someone who's avoidant, they had feelings for you. The problem is that they didn't necessarily know how to make it work with you, how to have a balanced relationship with someone who was secure or anxious. So this idea, this fear of loneliness is, again, they are escaping something, and they are using that person to escape this situation, to escape this loneliness. For example, one sign, but it's not about rebound, a sign where you see your ex going out very often, being way more social than they used to be. It's because they have a hard time dealing, for example, getting back home alone or staying at home alone, and they want to actively sort of feel that they're not alone. Fourth one is guilt alleviation. Again, this one is really about struggling with remorse when the relationship ends. There is this classic paradox after a breakup. The psychology of breakup is when people feel, I feel bad because I decided to end the relationship. So I feel bad of the damage I've done, but I will still seek my own needs. I will still be a bit selfish and don't want to deal with the consequences of my actions, with the impact the breakup has had on me. And therefore, I will date someone just again to distract myself. And in a way, they might hope that the new relationship will validate the idea that I made the right decision. Now that I'm dating this person, now it makes sense. Now I can sort of rationalize the decision of ending the relationship with you. Be aware of monkey branching. So monkey branching is when you start a new relationship while you're dating someone. That's very different to rebound. Monkey branching is you're assessing, you're basically obviously start to emotionally cheat on your partner. You ensure you're sort of doing a risk assessment in a way of, okay, I'm not happy with that current relationship. I'm testing something with someone else. And when I feel ready, when I feel that's the right person, I'm going to leave my partner. In the case of monkey branching, it's way harder to get back with someone who's done monkey branching because they have assessed over time. With rebound, they broke up with you, and very quickly, they want to find someone to validate this decision. And they will pick someone randomly. They will argue they are not random, but if you think about it, it's kind of random. And it's a big difference, but they usually do that to avoid dealing with the guilt of making the decision. Fifth one is ego boost, the idea that I'm winning the breakup. Very often in a relationship as well, there's a sense of competition. and a sense of dominance. I control things. You have to follow me. There's always this battle that creates a lot of tension, that creates a lot of fights and sometimes breakups. And so what they are doing is that they want to prove personal attractiveness, personal desirability, right? They want to know that, okay, you're losing, I'm winning. Also, and it could be narcissistic, it could be somehow manipulative, the desire to show that they can move on easily. You're suffering right now, you're crying at home, I'm dating someone, I'm having the best life of my life. So there's always like, how can I put myself higher than my partner? So very often that happens. 6.1 is escape from reality. As you can see, all of those signs, all of those triggers have something in common. Your partner is actively trying to escape something. And this idea is escaping reality from the breakup. Looking at, okay, I took the decision to end the relationship and I want this to be behind me as quickly as possible. The thing that people assume when they start a new relationship is that this new relationship will overwrite what you had. It doesn't happen this way. Breaking news for your partner, it doesn't happen this way. Yes, short term, they're going to be focusing on that partner. Short term, they'll be spending time with that partner. But the memories, the history, what you had cannot be replaced. What they are doing is just avoiding introspection, self-reflection. It's very important to understand this because what happens, they have this alternative reality. They feel that's the new reality, that's what they're after. But very quickly, after 3 or 6 months, they will face truth. They'll face the reality that this person is not necessarily right for them. They'll face the reality that they need to look at the breakup. They need to assess and face the consequences of the breakup and also connect with you and understand where you are. It's very important. And usually there's this clash when people realize, fuck, I made this mistake. I started this relationship with someone and I feel that's not the right decision. They will be sort of realizing that they made a huge mistake. Revenge, really about jealousy, really trying to make you react, trying to prove a point, using this relationship to hurt you, and it happens sometimes. Now, in this case, obviously, assess if that person if your ex is dating someone to hurt you, whether you want this person back, whether you think this is something that I can accept, whether it's something I would forgive if we want to get back together. This is very important because a lot of people, they disregard this. They feel like, yeah, but he wanted or she wanted to get revenge at me. And they start a new relationship with that person. They manage to get back together. But the problem is the resentment. The problem is the idea that you did that to hurt me. And very often, at some stage, we want to get back at them and not only with them. Before I move on to the 8, 9, and 10, there are about 65% of you who are not subscribers of this channel. As you know, we are a growing community and your support is very much appreciated because the message that I'm sharing, I would love to share it to as many people as possible. So if you have half of a second and want to support me, click on the subscribe button. That does help me a lot and I would really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Number 8, unresolved emotions, not having closure from the previous breakup. It's kind of this idea of quick fix. I don't want to deal with things. I'll find this person, I'll find this relationship as a quick fix. Not to deal with the painful stuff, not to deal with the things that I don't want to face. Also the idea, and again, they're making a lot of assumptions, hoping that this new relationship will help forget the past. Yes, they will forget you in a way at the beginning because their attention, their time will be focused on that new person. But trust me, you can't forget the relationship you had. You can't forget what you had. And they will grow bored of this relationship. I'll explain at the end. So it's very frequent for dumpies but can also be the case for dumpers when we feel like I need to jump into a new relationship because I don't want to look or explore my emotions. Number 9, which is a case, not very necessarily common, not very a huge driver, but it happens. The social pressure. The idea is very hard for me to be single, be the single of the group, and therefore I need to get into a relationship to feel that I don't want to answer any questions, any people making not fun of me, but people, feeling that I'm the single of the group. So this is not necessarily the most important one, but it happens sometimes. Number 10 is habitual comfort, and this is also a very common one. It's missing the routines, missing the habits of being with someone. So it's very hard to readjust. Having lived with someone for 10 years, for example, and being on your own. At the beginning, we feel, it's great. I can do my own thing. I can wake up when I want. I can listen to the music I want. But then very often, very quickly, after a few weeks, we feel like, but it's not really enjoyable to be, watching Netflix on my own, to be doing things on my own. And I miss this aspect. And again, it's the idea that they want to escape from this phase of being single, of being on their own, of having no choice but face this new reality. Quick recap. All these motives, these triggers to start a relationship very quickly after a breakup, it's a result of a desire to avoid dealing with past issues. This is what will happen. The same problem will occur. The same patterns will occur in this new relationship. But this won't happen with you. Because what you're doing right now is learning, is understanding what you could be doing, is understanding your role. You're learning, you're focused, while your ex is distracted. And they miss the whole point. Right now they don't feel it, but very often when I help people, the clients that I help, when their partners are dating someone, and they do the work, we have sessions, we speak on WhatsApp very regularly, and they grow, they make huge progress. When they meet with their ex after a while, first of all, the ex will see a massive change. Will feel like, okay, I thought I was there and now my ex is there. And I missed the whole point. I was wrong about this person. I was wrong about their ability to grow, their ability to change. And I found myself focusing on the wrong thing, pursuing the wrong path, right? And in that context, you can only win. Because what you're doing right now is building long-term benefit, building and having a long-term vision of what do you want? What are your needs? How can you build a secure attachment style, for example? While your partner is just about pleasure, it's just about validation, it's just about status, and they're missing the whole point. So it's very important to understand that this, even if you feel that you're not winning right now, even if you feel that your ex is winning, think long term. In 6 months' time, because usually rebound relationships fail after 6 months, in 6 months' time, you'll be the winner. Always remember that. And if you find this video was helpful, share it to someone who is, for example, in the same situation. Take care of yourself. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. For a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer.